What's up, guys? This is Brave, and I'm back with another review of Love and Marriage Huntsville. This is Season 6, Episode 8, and baby, let's get right into it. So we start the episode off with Mel. She's actually showing two guys how to do property preservation, and it was so cool to see Mel actually in her element, actually working, because let's be honest, we haven't really seen the cast of this show really show us what they do in the real world in a while. Like, we haven't seen Kimmy and Maurice closing deals on people's houses. We haven't seen Martell work because, of course, he don't have a license. As far as Tisha and Marceau, yeah, we know that she's a part of the company. She's now running the company. But we don't see them actually working. Like, what projects y'all got coming up? Nonetheless, it was good to see. Next thing you know, Kimmy shows up, and Mel is like, oh, I want to introduce you to this guy because he has closed on about 400 properties within the past 2-3 years. I think he'll be like a good connection for you to make. That's one thing that I do love about Mel, is that she's going to make connections for people, especially if they're in the same field. Love that. So basically, Kimmy came by so that way they could talk about the tea, of course. And of course, Kimmy, she loved the tea. She felt like, she loves etiquette and all those things. However, this tea did not work on everybody. Now, she brings up the fact that Tiff and Kiki still have some type of issue because when they were at Martell's event, these girls were still going at it. One thing that I did love and respect is that Kimmy did not bring up that it was Martell's thing, how Sheree was there, because let's be honest, if this was probably about 2 seasons ago, she would have told her every little detail, even though Mel does not want to hear anything about what Martell has going on. So, according to Mel though, because the last time she left off with these ladies, they were getting along. So she trying to figure out what is going on because they were just at my house. Everybody was getting along. And I thought we were moving past all of this. Girl, no. These girls are still working for their check, okay? So they also talked about how Mel felt about Stormy and her mom. And according to Mel, again, she doesn't have an issue with Stormy. She did not know that Stormy's mother had so much of an issue with her. And it's just going to be what it's going to be. Here's the thing. I don't think that Melody has time or even wants to continue to argue with people's mothers. She's already done that with Wanda. She's not about to do that with Stormy's mom. So Stormy, you can go ahead and take your mom and remove her from the situation. Now, one other thing that they talked about was how, Kimmy, she's been pretty stressed out because of Maurice. Maurice and her do not parent the same. It is so clear. But here's the thing. If you ask me who's the better parent, it's Kimmy. Because, oh baby, we gonna get to it. Because I'm gonna light into Maurice. So now we have Tiffany and Stormy talking. And they talk about how, Tiff is feeling away. She feels like Stormy is stirring the pot. Especially when it comes to her and Kiki. And she was. Because if y'all had already moved forward at Mel's house, why is Stormy bringing in new information to start more drama? But here's the thing about Stormy. Stormy, she feels like, no, we need to put everything out on the table. No, we don't. Some of that stuff, we need to go ahead and let bygones be bygones. I said some messed up stuff. You did as well. But we need to go ahead and table this and move forward. So, according to Stormy, she feels like Tiffany and Kiki, they're similar and they could possibly become best friends in the end. I don't think so. So now we have Tiffany talking about Sheree and how it is so crazy that she's been around Melody's kids, but she hasn't met Mel and all this stuff. Even goes on to talk about how Mel was a fan of Sheree. Tiffany, you're doing a lot. This ain't your man. This ain't your business. Why are you now going so hard? Because we've watched the seasons. You were playing in Mel's face when it came to her and Martell, just like everybody else. Trying to say, oh, Mel, don't you want to still hang out with Martell? Oh, Mel, don't you want to do this with Martell? Oh, so now you're saying things her way, and now you're going above and beyond because you have nothing else going on? Yeah, you were being extremely nosy, For sure. Now, did she actually ask the questions that we wanted to hear as viewers? For sure. However, it looks like you're meddling in something that has nothing to do with you, Tiffany. So in the end, I'm not sure how the viewers are going to look at you this season. I feel like you're going to have two different crowds. You're going to have people who are like, well, you know what? It's a reality show. We got to have some drama. Somebody had to do it. And then you're going to have other people who feel like you were doing too much. So next thing you know, they talk about the tea party, right? If I'm being honest, I'm kind of tired of everybody going from person to person to talk about this tea party. I really am. Now, Stormy, she feels like she still has an issue with Mel, and she feels that the event was manipulated. I have no idea how she felt like it was manipulated. Is it because everybody told you to calm down and that your mom needed to like chill out for a bit? Is that why you felt like it was manipulated? But nonetheless, I'm going to go ahead and move on because we got to get to Tisha and Kiki. They're in the car, and Kiki is like, I didn't tell you to show that text message to anybody because, as we all know, when Tisha got with, I think it was Kimmy and Stormy, she showed the text message that said that, old girl was being shady. Tiff was being shady towards Tisha. And here's the thing. They talked about how Stormy is the one who brought up the whole situation between Tiffany and Kiki again. And I'm just like, it's funny to me how Stormy has been the bone collector, carrier, and just spreading all the mess around. Because if y'all recall, when they went to the spa, you had Kiki being like, why didn't anybody bring up what Stormy had to say? Stormy has been meeting with everybody, and she's been spreading more drama. She's been spreading more of, oh, this person said this about you. This person said that. Stormy, you gotta chill. You coming on strong. I need for you to relax. Like, I understand that the show needs some drama, but if people are like, trying to let bygones be bygones, I need you to let that rock and let a new situation happen. And if they fall out from that, let it be. But you don't have to keep rehashing and everything that people are saying. You go to run and tell that. You really don't have to do this. Nonetheless, Tisha, she has an issue with Tiffany. Because she's like, why is this girl saying something about my husband and about my business? And now she has an issue, right? Now, word around town, according to Tisha, is that Tiff is basically cheating on Lewis. She had some dealings with some other man. Here's the thing. You're saying this while this woman is pregnant. So it makes it seem like she cheated on her husband and that baby might not be his. Okay, Tisha, if we're going to be messy, let's be messy, right? Now, according to Tisha, if they keep pushing her, they going to see a whole new side of Tisha. I said, ooh, look at this, y'all. Tisha going to switch it up on us. Alright, so then we have the next scene, which was Tiff and Lewis. They got to see an ultrasound for baby Ace. That's all I got from that scene. Moving on to Kimmy and Maurice. Baby, Kimmy, you gotta let that man go. He ain't worth it. I'm sorry. Maurice is trash. Straight up, there's no changing it. This man literally... First of all, why is Kimmy cooking? I feel like for the past couple of times that we have seen them, Kimmy has been in the kitchen cooking. This woman is going through all these changes in her life. Negro, if you don't get in there and put something on the grill, if you don't cook for her, I'm not understanding here. Nonetheless, so they talk about Sheree, because Sheree was at Martell's party, and how she didn't even talk to these people. If we want to be like, for real, Sheree was just standing around while Martell, he worked the room and she was just playing with her little ponytail. That's all she had to do. And if it wasn't for Tiffany, that would have been the entire scene. That would have been it. And Sheree just would have been there just to be there. Because I did not see her speak to the other people. She didn't even wave to the other cast members. And Martell, he didn't even go up and be like, hey, Sheree, this is Kimmy. You know what I'm saying? At least introduce her to Kimmy. That makes sense to me. And they talk about how, when it used to be Mel and Martell, they used to work the room together. Like, you could tell that they were together. That's because him and Sheree are not a real relationship. Point blank, period. But that's not even why we here, y'all. We gotta talk about Monster. So, Monster comes into the situation, and we learn that Monster's in a boot camp because he now is supposed to do so much better in his schoolwork as well as his overall life, right? First off, when y'all heard boot camp, did y'all think it was a separate program that this boy has been signed up for? Because I know I did. No. This was some bullshit that Maurice came up with. Because this is what this boy's supposed to do. Wake up at 5 a.m., go work out, have a conversation with his dad on the way to school about what his life goals are. Then he's going to go to school. He's aiming to get a 3.0. What was the other thing he had to do? I think go to practice and then come home. And that was pretty much it. Do homework. That was it. I'm like, what kind of boot camp is that, sir? Like, what are we doing here, Maurice? So, Maurice, he has a whole list of priorities that Monster has. Because he's had Monster write out his top priorities. You know what his priorities were? Getting a football scholarship and passing grades. Now, I understand, that may be a long-term goal. But, baby, they had nothing on that paper, y'all. He had a list of 20 things. Nothing on that paper made any reference to the things that Kimmy has been complaining about. Not a one chore was written down. And if I was Kimmy, I would have stopped cooking. I would have turned that fire off. And I would have been like, all right, you know what? I'm done. Because clearly nobody is listening to me in this house. And you know what? I'm tapped out. I have enough going on in my personal life that I don't have to deal with this. Maurice, you on your own raising your boy. If he don't want to clean up, let that be it. Let him do whatever he wants to do. It's because it's clear all of our priorities are not the same. So, then here's the thing. There's no consequences also on this list of goals that this kid has. So if he doesn't do something, there's no consequences. He just gets to do whatever. And it's very frustrating to watch Kimmy have to voice her, concerns over and over again of how she wants this boy to do his chores. AKA, I need help in this house. Okay? I have enough going on. I should not have to clean up after your child. If the trash needs to be taken out, he needs to take it out. If the dishes need to be done or whatever she's requesting, this boy has chores. He needs to get them done. That should be a priority. Okay, but according to Maurice, that's not a priority. That's just something that you're supposed to do. Well, if the child ain't doing it, then where are we at? We're back to ground zero. And then Maurice, being the idiot that he is, he's like, well, maybe we need to create a boot camp for chores. What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, seriously. Like, I just feel like Maurice is an idiot and Kimmy is so much smarter than him and she can do better than him. Like, seriously. Like, I was totally here for Kimmy when she was like, yeah, I think we need to revisit this list because how do you have 20 things on the list, y'all? 20 things. And nothing had to do with what Kimmy has been talking about this whole time. Like, it is so annoying to watch how dismissive Maurice is when it comes to Kimmy's parenting. Because I think she did a damn good job with Jalen. So I'm not understanding why he's so against it. Now, y'all, let's go ahead and move on to Martell and Marcel. Alright, so these two have got to stop with this foolishness. And that is, we gotta stop seeing them with all these stacked up books, pretending as if we're studying and for Martell to pass this test. Martell is not passing this test. I don't even think Martell has retaken the test. I think this is all for play. So I need for us to all stop pretending as if Marceau is really helping this man. He ain't lost no pounds, and Martell ain't learned nothing new. So Tiff comes through or whatever, and they talk about, his little party. And Martell, he brings up everything that she said to Sheree. Now, here's the thing. According to Tiffany, she feels like, listen, Sheree's a big girl. She should be able to handle herself. At the end of the day, all the stuff that I questioned her about, I asked her if she felt some type of way, she should have said something. Now, that could be very true. Sheree could have definitely stepped away and been like, oh, all right, well, it was nice talking to you. Let me go ahead and go find Martell. She could have easily done that. But of course, we're doing what? We're making TV. And Sheree knows it. So now we have Martell. He out here talking about how he's not a cheater and all of this stuff. And the fact that Marceau is there, it's kind of like they were tag teaming her. Because Marceau was sounding like the peanut gallery. He was just cackling and laughing and questioning. You said that? Wow, you hit that far below the belt? You did this, that, and that. Like, it was so annoying. So, it looked bad to me that you have two men who are going against a woman. Regardless of what she said to Sheree, it looks bad. These two guys are coming at her. But one thing that I will say is that you got to stand in it when you ask those type of questions, especially considering Sheree is not really like a regular cast member and all of this stuff. You got to stand in it, Tiff. And I feel like for the most part, Tiffany stood in it. However, she definitely gonna go tell her husband. Like, these two really tried to play with me. And honestly, if we really want to be honest, I don't care that she said those things to Sheree. Because at the end of the day, we all know this relationship is fake. So, ask away. Ask away, Tiff. But y'all, that was pretty much what happened on the episode. Let me know what y'all thought about the episode. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. And I will talk to y'all in the next one. Bye, guys.